ನುರಂಗಳು ಆದತಕ ಹೆಲಿಫೆಲಿವೆಗಳು ಮದುಮಾ ದುಂಫತ್ ಕೇಸ್ತಿಮಾಲ್ ಕುರುಂ ಅದಿ ರಾಬುಯಿಂ ಫದ ಆದಕಾದತಂ ಹಿಮೆನೆ
Making headlines this hour. First Lady urges recalibration of national healthcare models to embody greater compassion, embrace innovation. Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Abdullah Khalil describes the current foreign policy as a model which has led to improved bilateral and multilateral relationships. And according to the Maldives Monetary Authority, the Maldives fish exports have increased by 66% in the first 5 months of the year. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Abdullah Ahil. And now the news in detail. First Lady Sajida Mohammed urges the recalibration of national healthcare models to embody greater compassion, embrace innovation, and reflect the shifting needs of the population. She issued the call during her address as guest of honor at the inauguration of Hinitung 2025, the Maldives' first international dental conference. The conference is being held 50 years after the nation first introduced dental treatment services in 1975. Hosted at the Villa Nautica Resort, the 3-day event convenes professionals and stakeholders to reconsider national strategies in oral healthcare. Noting the continued marginalization of dental and oral health despite growing awareness, the First Lady drew attention to increasing rates of untreated tooth decay, gum disease, and oral cancers. She highlighted the need for strengthened policies and infrastructure to address these concerns and enhance overall well-being. She highlighted that oral health must be recognized as an essential component of holistic health, with preventative care, public awareness initiatives, and accessible services forming the backbone of reform. Delegates were encouraged to use the conference as a strategic platform to cultivate partnerships and embed dental care more firmly within the national healthcare framework. Providing insight into the conference's strategic goals, Dr. Nadima Rashid, chairperson and head of dentistry and orofacial surgery at IGMH, stated that the event aimed to reinforce collaboration across the profession while preparing practitioners to navigate technological advancements and dynamic healthcare environments. The program included keynote addresses from 12 international experts alongside skill-building workshops and panel discussions designed to support early career professionals. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdullah Khalil, describes the current foreign policy as a model which has led to improved bilateral and multilateral relationships for the Maldives. Speaking during Public Service Media or PSM News special documentary Minivang Divehi Rajya launching ceremony, Minister Dr. Khalil said this administration's foreign policy has forged closer relations with many countries, including China, India, the United States, and the Arab world. The result of closer relationships with bilateral and multilateral partners, according to the minister, have contributed to quicker foreign assistance in areas of need for the Maldives. He urged the Maldivian people to work with the government in preserving the country's relations with the rest of the world. Minister Dr. Khalil reiterated that the government will build relations with any country that respects its independence and freedoms of the Maldives and its people. According to him, Maldives being elected to various international organizations and commissions in recent times is testament to the wide acceptance of the island nation's strong foreign policy. The minister attributes the success in the multilateral arena to stronger relationships with other countries and elevated respect for the Maldives. According to the Central Bank Maldives Monetary Authority, the Maldives fish exports have increased by 66% in the first 5 months of the year. According to MMA's latest monthly statistics report, the Maldives exported 38,800 metric tons of fish in the first 5 months of this year, a significant increase of 66% compared to the same period last year. In 2024, 23,356 metric tons of fish were exported during the same period. The majority of exports comprised fresh and frozen fish. In the first 5 months of this year, 35,260 metric tons of fish were exported, a 79% increase compared to the same period last year. Exports were recorded at 19,689 metric tons during the same period last year. Statistics show the Maldives exported 31,157 metric tons of skipjack tuna during the period, doubling last year's skipjack tuna exports with a 109% increase. In the first 5 months of 2024, 14,877 metric tons of skipjack tuna were exported. In contrast, canned fish exports declined by 14% in the first 5 months of the year. This year, 2,604 metric tons of canned fish were exported compared to 3,049 metric tons during the same period last year. The government aims to further expand the fishing industry and position it as one of the largest revenue-generating industries in the Maldives. The government is working to develop the necessary facilities to address the problems faced by the fishing industry within the first 3 years of its current term. To this end, Maldives Industrial Fisheries Company Limited is working to construct a new fish processing plant in Hulumale with the assistance of the Islamic Development Bank. The facility, which is being built jointly by ISDB and the government of Maldives, involves a loan of $65 million to increase MIFCO's fish processing capacity. Once completed, this facility will have a capacity to handle 35 tons of fish. According to figures released by Mira, the agency has received $648,000 as Zakat al-Mal in the past month, double the amount collected during the same period last year. Mira collected a total of $687,930.36 in Zakat al-Mal last month, representing a 145% increase from $278,876.52 collected during the same month last year. According to official statistics, $3.99 million has been collected as Zakat al-Mal so far this year. This marks a 21% increase compared to $3.29 million collected in the same period last year. Zakat al-Mal is a religious obligation required of individuals whose wealth has reached the nisab threshold and has remained above the threshold for 1 lunar year. It can be paid at any time of the year. The Ministry of Islamic Affairs determines the obligatory nisab for Zakat al-Mal in the Maldives. The ministry last revised the nisab in April this year. The current nisab is $600. The nisab is based on the value of gold and silver and changes according to changes in the price of gold and silver in the global market. If an individual possesses wealth equal to or greater than the nisab for over a lunar year, he is obliged to pay 2.5% of his wealth as zakat. A forensic diving course that was being conducted in Vani Dal Atoll concludes. The course, organized by the National College of Policing and Law Enforcement, combined open water dive, advanced open water dive, emergency first response or EFR, rescue diving, and forensic diving modules. The exercises began on the 1st of June with the aim of enhancing the ability of the participants to conduct underwater investigations and train officers in technical and practical skills required for forensic diving operations. The 40-day training course has now concluded. The closing ceremony was graced by Commissioner of Police Ismail Naveen. Commissioner Naveen, speaking at the ceremony, congratulated the graduates and stressed the importance of specialized police skills such as forensic diving. 10 police officers from 4 countries completed the course. This includes 5 officers from the Maldives as well as participants from Saudi Arabia, Cambodia, and Sri Lanka. Police have urged public caution following a recent increase in phishing attacks targeting popular messaging app Telegram accounts. The Maldives Police Service, or MPS, has said an increasing number of cases of hacking Telegram accounts through phishing links claiming to contain photos which are usually sent with a message from an acquaintance. According to MPS, scammers take control of a Telegram account when the user clicks on the link in the message to enter the phone number and share the OTP code. MPS said they use the account to send phishing links to other users once the scammers take control of a Telegram account. MPS have urged people with compromised accounts to immediately delete the Telegram application and reinstall it through the two-step verification process. Police have advised people to disregard unknown links sent in the name of a trusted or close person, warning that such phishing links are designed to steal your Telegram account. Regional trade and security issues dominates a meeting between ASEAN diplomats and senior officials from the European Union and the United Kingdom held in Kuala Lumpur.
European Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas called for a boost in cooperation on trade, while her British counterpart, Foreign Minister David Lammy, said a free and open Indo-Pacific was at the heart of a shared security cooperation. Brunei's Foreign Minister Erywan Yusof expressed concern over growing geo-economic uncertainties and said progress was better sustained through upholding international rules and multilateralism.
As two of the world's successful organizations in regional integration, we understand that progress is better sustained through mutual respect and shared commitment to upholding international rules and promoting multilateralism. Amidst growing geo-economic uncertainties, including rising protectionism and tariff barriers, an ASEAN-EU FTA agreement is even more timely. It would reaffirm our collective commitment to an open, rules-based multilateral trading system.
The roundtable, part of the ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting, ran from July 9 to 11, came after U.S. President Donald Trump announced hefty levies on a number of Asian countries despite concerted efforts by some to offer broad concessions and negotiate lower rates. Investors have taken a cautious stance as several large trading partners, including the European Union, have yet to finalize trade deals.
Chilean President Gabriel Boric calls on the international community not to place obstacles or penalties on copper, as it is a key metal for decarbonization and the fight against climate change.
The statement from the Chilean president comes after this week's announcement by US President Donald Trump that he will impose a 50% tariff on the red metal. During an event to commemorate the 54th anniversary of the nationalization of copper in Chile, Boric stated that the metal is vital to confronting the climate crisis and helping to replace fossil fuels. Chile is a major supplier of copper cathodes to the United States, although most of its production is directed to China and other Asian markets. Authorities in the South American country have said they are awaiting deals on the scope of the measure in order to analyze its impact. This is the latest in statements from countries across the globe on Trump's announcement of US tariffs across multiple continents, with experts saying that 180 to 190 countries are impacted due to the different tariff measures imposed by the USA.
The top UN expert on Palestinian rights tells that the United States placed sanctions on her to undermine her capacity to do her work, which the US said amounted to unfair criticisms of Israel.
On the 9th of July, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced that Francesca Albanese would be added to the U.S. sanctions list for her actions, which he described as prompting illegitimate prosecutions of Israelis at the International Criminal Court. Albanese said she faces asset freezes and potential travel restrictions, warning it could set a dangerous precedent for human rights defenders worldwide.
The U.S. have never sanctioned a UN official in the entire history. Not other countries. This is the first. I'm the first UN official, albeit in an independent capacity, to be sanctioned by a member state. So it's been quite significant. I'm still absorbing and making sense of it. Of course, it's a disgrace, and it's a violation of the 1946 Convention on Privileges and Immunities, of which the United States is party.
The UN Special Reporter on Human Rights in the occupied Palestinian territories is one of dozens of experts appointed by the 47-member UN Human Rights Council to report on specific global issues. The Italian lawyer and academic has been a vocal critic of Israel's treatment of Palestinians. She recently published a report calling on states at the UN Council to impose an arms embargo and cut off trade and financial ties with Israel, while accusing the US ally of waging a genocidal campaign in Gaza. Israel's mission in Geneva said the report was legally groundless, defamatory, and a flagrant abuse of her office. The UN Human Rights Office confirmed on Friday that she is the first special reporter to be sanctioned and called for the decision to be reversed. The same day, the European Union said it deeply regrets the US decision. President Donald Trump's administration in June imposed sanctions on 4 judges at the International Criminal Court. Israel has faced accusations of genocide at the International Court of Justice and of war crimes at the ICC over its devastating military assault on Gaza. Israel strongly denies the accusations and says its campaign amounts to self-defense after a deadly October 2023 Hamas attack.
Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov says that Russia is awaiting the major statement that U.S. President Donald Trump announced he would deliver on the 14th of July.
Trump, speaking to the US media NBC News, told that he will make a major statement on Russia on the 14th of July without elaborating what it will be about. In recent days, Trump has expressed frustrations with Russian President Vladimir Putin over Russia-Ukraine conflict.
We're not happy with Putin. I'm not happy with Putin. I can tell you that much right now, because he's killing a lot of people. And a lot of them are his soldiers and their soldiers, mostly. And it's now up to 7,000 a week, and I'm not happy with Putin.
When asked about the new NATO weapon deliveries to Ukraine, Peskov called it just business, as Kiev have already been receiving weapons prior to this development. Donald Trump had earlier in this month stated that the US would be sending primary defensive weapons to Ukraine. The most recent addition to the Russia-Ukraine war has been ongoing since 24th February 2022. In what many experts have said has been the most devastating war Europe has seen since World War II.
Top seed Jannik Sinner ensures Novak Djokovic will be absent from a Wimbledon men's singles final for the first time in 8 years after handing the Serbian great a brutal center court battering.
Italian Sinner lost both his previous Wimbledon duels with Djokovic but turned the tables in emphatic fashion as his power and precision proved too much for the 7-time champion who, at 38, looked every bit his age in a humbling 6-3, 6-3 and 6-4 loss. In his first Wimbledon final, the 23-year-old Sinner will face Spain's Carlos Alcaraz in a tantalizing rematch of their recent French Open humdinger, which the Italian lost after battling for more than 5 hours, squandering 3 championship points. Alcaraz stayed on course for a Wimbledon three-peat with a defeat of Taylor Fritz. Sinner and Alcaraz ranks first and second respectively in the official ATP single official rankings. Alcaraz leads Sinner 8-4 in Lexus ATP head-to-head. This will be their second consecutive meeting in a Grand Slam final.
Samsung Electronics unveils its thinner, lighter new foldable phones at Dogal Greenhouse in the Brooklyn Navy Yard, New York, as it aims to fend off Chinese competition in the higher margin premium segment that remains untapped by arch rival Apple.
For Samsung, the stakes are high. The South Korean company lost its global smartphone crown to Apple in 2023 and faces growing competition from Chinese rivals like Huawei and Honor. Meanwhile, Samsung's mainstay chip business has suffered a profit slump stemming in part from its delayed supply of artificial intelligence chips to Nvidia.
Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Z Flip 7 represent the pinnacle of our innovation. This is more than just a new flip or fold.
Samsung aims to take a leadership position in AI by enhancing cooperation with external partners like Google. The smartphone maker increased the U.S. price of Galaxy Z Fold 7 to $1,999 by 5% from its predecessor Fold 6. Galaxy Z Fold 7 is equipped with Qualcomm's fast processor Snapdragon 8 Elite, while Galaxy Z Flip 7 is powered by Samsung's in-house Exynos chips. Analysts said Samsung's new models tackled some of the issues with foldable phones such as bulkiness and would create a premium halo around the brand. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 weighs 10% less than its predecessor and is 26% thinner. Pre-order started on the 9th of July and it will become available from July 25th, 2025.
And that's all the news we have for today. We'll be back with any further updates. Until then, I'm Abdullah Ahil from PSM News.